Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a reading today on a soul connection that you feel with another person. So this particular soul connection is one that has a particular vibration. So it may not be for everybody, so just take what resonates for you. We're going to really be focusing on a connection where there have been toxic patterns and behaviors, extreme challenges, as well as a separation. So if that sounds like your connection, go ahead and stay tuned. What we're not going to be doing is focusing on your person, as in how they feel about you, what they want you to know, or your future energies with them. We're really going to base this reading on you, the viewer, what you're supposed to learn from this, how you can heal and empower yourself moving forward. That's what we're really going to be focusing on. So if that sounds like your sort of thing, definitely continue watching. But I just want to kind of make that disclaimer just so that way you guys knew what this reading was going to be about. So anyways, I will go ahead and list all the decks that I'm using down below, as well as this Organite here, created by Michelle from Wing and Bell. I will also be putting down below a link to one of my friend's channels and videos. She is called the Woo Woo Healer, and she is the gal that wrote the book, Girl, You're a Queen, and it's all about empowering the divine feminine. And so I feel like her latest video, which is on the topic of twin flames, can be very helpful and healing to some of you guys that are looking for guidance in that area. So I'll list her link down below. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with this reading. We are going to go into my Divine Feminine Healing cards and see what are the major lessons that are coming up for you when it comes to this person and this situation with them. What are the key things that want to come through for the lessons? We have honesty. I speak up when I have something to share. I am no longer fearful of what other people cannot handle. I do feel that for some of you guys, you may have not spoken your truth. You may have downplayed your own needs just to satisfy another person. You may have said yes when you wanted to say no. You may have agreed to things or acted a certain way because you were afraid of being judged. And so one thing that you're learning is that that never serves anyone, especially you. Okay, that makes sense. We have soul cleanse. I embrace my emotions. So I feel like this kind of makes sense with this other card. We may have stuffed down our feelings. We may have tried to do a spiritual bypass. So what I want to say about that is, especially in the New Age community, there's a lot of belief where it's all about love and light and forgiveness. And even though that's a beautiful concept and it's certainly not harmful, but when you're not ready because you have not truly forgiven yourself or the other person, that is kind of like a spiritual bypass where we're throwing love and light. We're saying we're forgiving people, but we really don't feel that way. We've been taught that the shadow or negative feelings are bad, that it's all high vibes, positive vibes, baby. And that can be very damaging for people that don't really feel that way. And you can be shamed that you are negative or low vibe because you're being real and honest with yourself, that you haven't forgiven somebody lickety split in like 2 minutes after fucking you over. So that's what I'm talking about. So I feel like this has also taught you to be real and honest with yourself, really embrace your emotions. And by being taught to send love and light and only think positive things, sometimes that doesn't always fix it. Sometimes that doesn't help. Sometimes it actually makes you feel more frustrated because you don't really feel that way. So we definitely want to lean into our shadow. We want to lean into why we're triggered, why we're feeling rageful, why we're feeling upset, why we're still feeling pissed. Because there's a reason, because there's something going on. You're upset. That's real. That's a real feeling. Honor it. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to wallow in the pits, sit back and figure out all the ways that you're going to get even with a person, because that's also not going to help. So it's really about that balance, you guys. It's trying to find that balance between love and hate, or light and shadow. So I feel like maybe some of you guys have experienced maybe trying to do a spiritual bypass. You thought you got rid of something, you thought you healed it, and then bam, it came back with a vengeance. And you're just like, I thought this was gone, but it wasn't. So something going on with this individual could have kind of helped you see that there really is a trauma or something that you have that you're holding within that needs to be cleansed. It's like deep within your soul. They help to kind of bring it out. And it doesn't mean like their mistreatment of you or their abuse is okay because, hey, they're doing you a favor. They're helping you heal. Not necessarily. But in some kind of way, they do help you to kind of choose to speak your truth, to say, hey, I'm not going to let you do this anymore, or hey, this is not okay. So your experience with them is actually helping you to become a stronger individual. It's helping you to basically stand in your power, which is an amazing thing. What else? Oh, see, there it is. There's that bitterness. So that's the deal, okay? The shadow has something to teach you. The shadow is also there to help you to protect yourself and to be discerning and to kind of like, survive. But sometimes that shadow can turn into bitterness. Sometimes that shadow can consume you and cause you to feel so negative where all you're doing now is operating in the shadow. And I've been all in the light. It's all love and light, baby. And I've been all in the shadow where I just want to go crazy. So it's about that nice balance between that shadow and light. So this bitterness here says, I do not engage in gossip about others, as to do so only breeds negativity. Do unto others what you would have done unto you. I've had some shit done to me before, and I've repeated this to other people. And then later on, it's like, why did I even share that? Like, that just says so much about me that I felt the need to spread that gossip, or that I felt the need to repeat that or say that really mean negative thing about someone. And I think we've all done that. We've all gossiped. We've all said something negative or bad about a person that has hurt us. But at the end of the day, is it really necessary? If you need to talk to somebody, I definitely suggest talking to a trusted friend, like somebody that you've known your whole fucking life, instead of somebody that maybe you don't really know, or a therapist, or maybe just writing it, saving it for your freaking journal, saving it for just saving it for cleansing purposes. Because sometimes when we are constantly talking about our problems, unless it's with like a trained professional, we're not really cleansing it. We're not really healing it. We're not getting constructive feedback. You might even be sharing this with people that are just perpetuating it and just like adding to the drama, which in the end isn't going to make you feel good. So I feel that this individual, their either treatment of you or whatever has happened with them has caused you some sort of bitterness. And you may have lashed out. You may have said something about this person that hurt you. You may have spread, things, gossiped, even spread lies because you're triggered, because you're trying to cope. But we learn from this. We learn from our shadow. We learn, wow, I can't believe I acted that way. Holy crap. But you can learn something from that. Try not to shame your shadow. Learn from it. Be constructive with it. Try to figure out, well, maybe I'll go about things different next time. So what I'm getting here, this individual that we're tapping into, man, they have really brought out that bitter side of you. They have really brought out that poison. I mean, she's holding that apple. And whenever I see like that apple in a negative way, that's like a poison apple. We're drinking poison and expecting them to die. It doesn't work that way. I just said that in yesterday's reading, I believe. It's something where I feel from personal experience that I did this with an individual a long time ago. I felt like the more rage and the more hate that I had towards this person, that somehow it was going to affect them in a negative way. And I think what it did is they just kept living their life and moving on with their life. And I just kept falling apart. So it didn't really do anything for me, except for me realizing at the end that all I had was just this energy that I was still holding on to, that I just needed to let go of. So I'm only inserting that because maybe someone can, be helped with that perspective. I like this. We have composure. I'm getting for some of you guys that dealing with this individual has brought out your crazy side, has brought out things in you where you are now like, I cannot believe I acted this way, because we have composure. They've made, I don't want to say made, they didn't make you do anything. You chose. They triggered you in such a way to where you became unglued. You lost your shit. You lost your composure. So what you've learned, I remain calm under pressure, even when other people are trying to engage me in conflict. It may not even be that this person did something. It could be the people around them gossiped to you, repeated things that this person said or did, or repeated things that they were doing behind your back. And you were just, you came unglued. I get it. I get it. I could sit here all day long and tell you guys about all my stuff, but I'm just going to try to keep it about you guys here and what you guys are going through. But yeah, that's a real bitter pill to swallow. It's really a bitter pill to swallow when you hear that someone screwed you over or someone said something about you and not do anything about it, not call that person and give them a piece of your mind, not maybe get even with that person. It's a really hard thing to hold back that shadow, to hold back that anger. It absolutely is. But sometimes when we act in this way, or we let this person kind of like get the best of us, we usually end up feeling shame and regret that we lost our power, that we gave our power, or we gave into the anger, we gave into the hate, we gave into this response. We usually feel like crap. I don't really know a time in my life where I was just like, I totally reacted in a crazy way where I felt good about it later. I always felt like an idiot. You know what I mean? Because usually when you're dealing with, let's just say, a narcissist or somebody who's a great manipulator, they have a way of actually turning it around on you, even though they did something wrong. And somehow you end up looking like the problem or the crazy person. So I just feel like there's probably some kind of just lesson in everything that's either on these cards or some stories that I shared that maybe you guys can identify with the craziness that you felt dealing with this individual or the stuff that went down with this person, because it's really kind of helped you to see something about what you need to purge and cleanse. Things that we hold on to usually comes out, If we're not honest with how we feel, we're not honest about the pain that we've endured, and we don't work it through and we don't really properly heal it, it's going to come out in some kind of way. You're going to become unglued. You're going to lose your shit. You're going to lose your freaking mind. So lots of ways that we can heal that. Watching readings over and over again about how someone thinks about you or how they feel. I don't feel are constructive ways of healing. That's just me, though. I feel that a good therapist or a support group or somebody that deals with inner child healing or wounds, past life traumas, I feel like that would be very helpful to some of you guys. Just mechanisms for empowering the self rather than how to come into union with this person. I feel that those types of things are two opposites. So I would really focus more on how you can separate from this individual and really focus on healing yourself. That's what I think would be very helpful. So anyways, there was a lot. Those 4 cards, 15 minutes right there. So yeah, wow. All right, well, let's continue. Let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know about this soul contract? So I kind of feel like the first 4 cards were really about, maybe how you felt, what was brought up in you, etc. So let's see what the contract is all about. What is this contract supposed to teach you? What are you supposed to learn here from all of this? Ooh, we have the fall. What's funny is that when I just saw that, I wasn't thinking of a season. I wasn't thinking of like autumn, which that might not be what that is, but the fall, there could be, you met this person in the fall. Maybe you had a falling out with this person. You really fell hard for this person, something like that. We have full moon, the queen, and within 6 to 9 months. I really feel like if you guys feel like you have fallen or you guys are in a pit within the next 6 to 9 months, I feel like you guys are going to rise above. You're going to take that crown and you're going to put it back on your head and you're going to rise above this. And it doesn't mean it's going to take you 6 to 9 months, but I'm just getting here within the next 6 to 9 months, you guys are going to really, really feel like you have completed this contract. You have empowered yourself from this experience, that you have survived this individual, that you're going to be able to move forward with your life. That's what I'm seeing here. And I kind of like this because I just mentioned my friend, the woo-woo healer, which created that book, Girl, You're a Queen. So to me, that's like, bam, there it is, right? What else? Castle. So, of course, the queen, the castle, the ruler of your own castle, the ruler of your own kingdom, having that kind of pride and recognition within yourself. You hold a position of power. So to me, this is all a part of the contract. The contract is you being given the keys back to your kingdom. You may have given someone else your power. You may have been looking for, someone else to complete you. And I'm getting here that the lesson really is that you're completing yourself. You're showing up for you. You're the queen of your own castle. You don't even necessarily need a king. It's not about need. Maybe you want one and you'll attract one when you want one, not when you need one. We have beehive. Beautiful. I'm also getting here that this is about the work, because that's what, to me, what beehives are. It's about worker bees. And it's so funny. I was actually something, I don't know what it was. Something just sparked in me to look up bees, queen bee. Okay. And I'm literally looking at this. I think it was Sunday night. Yeah. Mr. Moon's snoring his head off right next to me. I'm usually on my phone before I fall asleep. I look up the bees. And I had no idea, you guys, that worker bees were all female. The drones are the males that mate with the queen. I just didn't know very much about it. It was very interesting. But actually, the queen is actually not in charge. The worker bees are in control of the queen. They'll actually annihilate the queen. They'll actually kill the queen off in certain circumstances. So it's like a fake. It's a fake sense of entitlement. It's a fake sense of being in control and being in power. So I feel that there is a message there for you. This is about knowing the difference between ego and knowing the difference between, you just really, really feeling whole. Because sometimes when we get hurt, we can kind of go into that, I'm queen, hear me roar, I deserve the best. And yes, of course, we all deserve certain things, but sometimes some people, especially when they've been hurt, can get into that very snobbish energy where they're just cutting off heads and, they're telling everybody how it's going to be, and no one can really do what they want to do. Because beehives, it's a team. We're working together. We're working together as a team. So it's not about you ruling the castle and saying, I'm going to now dictate to all my little peasants what they're going to do. It's not that kind of energy. And some of you guys might fall into that negative side of the Queen of Swords, which is I'm taking heads. And that's all fine and dandy for a bit, but you don't want to remain the Queen of Swords. You don't want to allow this situation or this person to take away that feminine aspect of you, that softer side, that side of you that can be loving, that can allow the right partner in to then love you properly. You don't want to shut down just because this person hurt you or did you dirty or whatever has happened here. You don't want to now miss out on the honey, the sweet honey now of life and living and loving. You don't want to allow that to happen. So there's a real fine line between that shadow and light. It keeps coming through the reading. Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, right in between there. And it's funny because Natalie, the video that I am linking down for you guys, that right there, she's got the juice there. I love it. She talks about that in her book. She talks about all of that stuff. Airplane. Oh, interesting. We have 2 6s. So to me, that is tranquility. It's also about, moving forward, transition energy. It's also about relationships and harmony. I feel like you guys are going to break free from this old energy. You're going to break free from the shadow. You're going to break free from maybe the ego side. You're going to break free from anything that is just kind of taking away from the sweet honey of your life. So even if you guys have to move, I know that's an interesting message for someone out there. You're going to be moving. You're moving. You're moving by either an airplane, or you're moving locations. You're relocating. You're moving to a new residence, new job, something. You're relocating though. And when you relocate, I do feel like that's when your life is really going to just start. Okay? Like you may have thought that you found the love of your life. You may have thought that you felt intense. You may have thought these things, but damn, it's almost like the next thing that's on the horizon for you is going to be even sweeter than what you had before, and you don't even freaking know it. It's just what I'm seeing here. You're leaving something behind. We have White Rabbit. This is kind of cool. It's another awakening. You have another awakening. You go down a different rabbit hole. Just when you thought you had it all figured out, you fall down another rabbit hole because you're meant to. So you fell in love, you fell down this rabbit hole, let's just say, of a particular type of journey or concept. And now you're reestablishing who you are. You're rebuilding yourself, you're restructuring yourself, you're gathering up your resources, you're producing honey again in your life, you're enjoying your life once again, you're relocating, you're leaving old stuff behind that no longer serves, and then now you're going down a new rabbit hole. A new spiritual awakening is taking place. I'm getting for you, some of you thought that you had a spiritual awakening before, and it's like this other spiritual awakening that's happening. It's like a second awakening, the real awakening. And I'm not saying the last one that you had was fake, but it's like the true awakening now is happening. And it's a whole new level than what you experienced before. So this thing that you went through with this individual, all the pain, all the crap, all the stuff that came up within you that needed to heal, all the ways that you were triggered, traumatized, all of it, it's all leading down this pathway to something new. It's all heading to where you're meant to go. Your life is just beginning. I don't know why what is that song from the Carpenters? It's only just begun. And I don't know. I think that that's related to like a relationship, but I don't know why it's coming through. Carpenter Bee, the Carpenters, it's only just begun. I don't know. It's just what I'm seeing. And then of course we have the song White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane. What? Oh my God. It's too much. It's too much. Ooh, okay. So let's go ahead now and get into some of that shadow energy. Okay, some of the shadows that popped up. I mean, we already saw that some shadows came up, but what was necessary? Okay, what was necessary for your healing and your growth, for you to get where you were needing to go? This is my Winds of Fortune deck. Ooh, yeah, there it is. This is this very unhappy Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups, bitter. Yeah, unhappy. May have even become lazy, given up on yourself, really been depressed, just not feeling good. So the emotions, how you were feeling, the high that you were on took a dive. But again, this was very necessary for you to be able to kind of recognize where maybe you gave up, where maybe you lost yourself, etc. Yeah. What else? We have the Six of Spades. I really like this because it's short-lived. It's like short-term. Okay, it's going to fluctuate. You're not always going to feel this energy, especially if you're stuck here right now. You're not always going to feel this way. So keep the faith. Keep going. Know that things are going to shift and change for the better. Know that things are going to improve. So these shadows are leading you actually towards the light. Ooh, and it's leading you towards maybe somebody who is a little bit more driven to make a connection work. Somebody who's dedicated. This is like the King of Pentacles energy to me. A true mate. And it's not that it has to all be about another person, because some of you guys may just be your own king, your own queen, and your own king of the castle. But I gotta say, I do see another person here, like a person that's like a masculine and feminine complementing each other. I feel like this is somebody who is a little bit more articulate with how they feel. They're able to communicate with you, whereas maybe your other person was not. This is somebody who is driven in life. They have a plan. This is somebody that you can actually build a life with. So I do feel, you guys, that something is improving here based on all the crap that you went through with this other person. It's almost like it's leading you to something better. And then oh yeah, look at this, the King of Spades. So to me, this is like, you have a couple of options, or you have someone, this is two sides of them. Sense of humor, somebody who's articulate, driven, and successful. Now you have the King of Spades, somebody who's influential, they have a sharp mind, they're powerful, they're devoted to you. Totally different than this other person. And it's not to say that this other person was so bad. It just means that, you know, when we looked at the connection, or we looked at like what came up within you, we obviously know something probably happened here to trigger you. Something caused you to feel bitter. Something caused you to feel like maybe you couldn't speak your truth. You lost your mind. You lost your shit. So I'm just assuming that something obviously happened there. And this kind of a person probably wouldn't bring all that behavior up within you. So I'm only assuming that you became bitter and unhappy with your old situation. But what you have in front of you, you guys, keep the faith. There will be somebody else out there that you'll meet that will have these traits. Somebody that will be more devoted to you. Somebody that will be more driven to be a success in life with you. A true partnership. That's it. So don't give up the faith that just because something didn't work out with this individual, that all is lost and that you'll never find happiness. I'm not getting that at all. I'm getting quite the opposite, you guys. So let's go ahead and go into the Abstract Oracle deck by my daughter, Kayla Reed Creations, if I can say her freaking name. I did name her. Let's go ahead and see what else we need to know. We have pleasure. So what does this mean? What does this energy mean? Why is pleasure coming up? Lost in a dream. Okay, I do feel like, you guys, this is Spirit's way of saying here, Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is the fantasy. Seven of Cups is Neptune's energy, illusion, being lost in a dream. That's why I named that card Lost in a Dream. So we felt a lot of pleasure with this individual. A lot of lust, okay? Is very, very primal, very lusty. That's just all I'm going to say. And because of this energy, we connected so intensely with this individual, but it's almost like it couldn't be carried down into the reality, the 3D world. You may have the same kind of a feeling or same kind of chemistry with this next person, but this is actually going to be something that can be sustained. The relationship or the connection that you had with this other individual, it just could not be sustained. It could not really get off the ground. Well, it was off the ground, but it couldn't come back down to earth. It couldn't actually work in reality. You guys just couldn't make it work. There's something about it that's unrealistic. It was a nice thought. It was a nice dream. And maybe there was potential there at one time, but something has been lost. Yeah, see, there it is again. Holy smokes. These are the only two cards in this deck that show people that are actually like together and like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, that looks like people are definitely getting caught up in the pleasure and passion, right? So there it is. Very strong. Okay, so we had a card that fell, so I will go ahead and bring it up. Eight of Hell, which is the Eight of Wands energy. So this right here is things taking flight. First of all, you guys, the Eight of Wands is a very exciting time. It's very fast though, and it doesn't last forever. It's just pure energy. And usually people will see this card as the card of physical connection. So it's not to say that that's all you ever had with this person, that it was nothing else besides just this lust and pleasure and passion. But for some of you guys, maybe you got caught up in that energy. Maybe it's just something that wasn't really meant to come back down from the clouds and be experienced in a 3D way. These individuals or this person is somebody that you can actually experience a life and build a life with. But this person, probably not so much. But if you hadn't have felt that way or got caught up in all that, you probably wouldn't experienced all the lessons that you needed to learn here. You wouldn't be where you're at today, which is somebody who is speaking their truth, somebody who has done the work, who's embracing their real emotions, somebody that's getting rid of the bitterness, somebody that is finding their composure. They're finding their strength, right? That's what you're finding here through all of this. And you're also finding your value as a queen, okay? You're finding your value as a queen. You're becoming the queen of your own castle, but not in a negative way. You're learning to do something with all of this pain. You're making it matter. You're moving, you're detaching, you're traveling, you're moving on. Good for you. You're going into a whole new phase of your life. You're excited. This is fantastic. So this situation was just a pit stop on your journey. It wasn't your entire journey. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. It wasn't your entire journey. Maybe the person is just not your for now person. I don't want to take that away from anybody and say this can't happen later on, but for now, this is just not your person. You're meant for something greater. You're meant for something else. And that is a beautiful thing. So let's go ahead and get here this energy. This is from Aqua Moonlight, The Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle, and The Secrets of a Lover's Journey. Let's see what else we need to know. Falling too deeply. Guys, this is crazy. I just can't believe this. I mean, I can because that's the way it works. The fall. Drowning in unstable feelings in over your head. So I feel like what Spirit is kind of bringing forth again is this was part of the problem. You fell just too hard, too quick, too fast, too deep. And it really wasn't stable because what the majority of the connection seems to be is pleasure and passion. And this Neptune energy here, Seven of Cups, is being lost and caught up and drowning in that dream, that fantasy, right? So that's what's happening there. So it just couldn't be sustained in that dynamic. Falling apart. Wow, a lot of falling apart, sinking in water. Wow, sinking in your feelings, hopeless, despair. So I feel like you guys have spent enough time drowning in this dream or drowning in this despair or sadness. You guys are ready to pull yourself out of that water, get back onto dry land, deal with the reality of people instead of getting caught up in magic and passion. It all feels good, and it doesn't mean you can't have it all, because I'm sure some people can, but usually things that are just exhilarating and very fast, very quick, very intense, it doesn't last. You know, there's got to be something else in order for you to actually build something and have a foundation in life. We have psychic sensitivity. It says keen intuitive awareness, absorbing energy empathically. Some of you guys are very empathic. And so you could have also been like picking up on a lot of the things that you maybe were convinced that your person felt. And I'm not here to say you were wrong, but maybe misinterpreting things or taking things a certain way and turning them into stories that we wanted to tell ourselves. I do feel kind of created this falling apart, like it all fell apart, you know, because it's like a story. You can only tell yourself a story for so long, and then when the facts and the reality don't match up to the dream, it falls apart. It just falls apart. So there's something about not getting caught up in that fantasy world, learning. It's a beautiful thought, but it's probably more of a fantasy, and learning the difference between the two. Yeah, we have concealing, especially if somebody is in a dynamic. This is going to be for some, especially if you're dealing with somebody who you know is lying, okay? They're not being true to you. They're not being true to somebody else. If someone's cheating on a partner to be with you or whatever, vice versa, nothing's going to work. Things don't work in that situation. I don't care what kind of connection it is. It doesn't work. There's no way that a person can date you and somebody else or be with someone else and then be with you and that situation be divine, high vibe, whatever you want to call it. It just can't be. It's impossible. Now or never. I do feel with this now or never energy, it's like very, very desperate. It says no more time to waste, desperate measures, now or never. I do feel like maybe some of you guys either gave this person an ultimatum or they made a different choice. They didn't choose you. And so it made you feel like, wow, everything just fell apart. This dream of you and I, these thoughts, these hopes that I had for us, it's just everything just burned. And I wasted so much time. Look at that word, time. I wasted so much time on you. Some of you guys could just be super pissed at yourself. But don't be. Learn from this. Learn from it. You were supposed to learn something. Allow all this to now help you to make better decisions later. And we have nourish. Yep, see, it's all about you. Look, soul growth, self-harmony, comforts. This has also helped you to lean into yourself, to be your own partner, to provide for you, to rely on yourself for comfort rather than looking for someone else to comfort you, creating that harmony within yourself, really going within your soul and trying to figure out what I can learn from this situation. What can I take? And I'm getting here what you can take is that not everything that you feel that's magical, not everything that you feel intense is what you think. Sometimes it's just good old-fashioned lust. Sometimes it's just good old-fashioned something. It may not be that divine thing that you thought. It may not be unicorns and rainbows, or that's all that it is. And it's not really anything kind of like solid in reality that you can build on. And I know some people might be pissed when I'm saying that, but we sometimes end up feeling a little foolish with what we were thinking originally. And again, it's not to shame anybody. It's not to say, oh my God, you're such a fool for thinking that. But you kind of, when you come back down from reality, you kind of reflect back on what you were thinking and maybe how you were describing the relationship or the connection, whatever you were feeling. And you're just like, wow, like, I can't believe that I ever thought that this was so divine, or that I gave this person so much power, or that I thought that this person was so great. Turns out that they're actually not that great. Or it turns out that they're actually not even what I want anymore. So you always leave this room for this growth. How you guys feel today about this person may not be how you feel, in 6 to 9 months. And that's did come through with the 6 to 9 months. In 6 to 9 months, you may not even be thinking about this person. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else does Spirit want to share with us for this journey? All right, this is my Twin Flame Journey Oracle. Divine Feminine. Are you the Divine Feminine? Are you the feminine that's been watching this video so far, if you're still with me? There's definitely this message here that you are meant to come into, let's just say, a specific journey. You were meant to be on this journey. This journey was meant to help you find yourself. It was meant to help you to heal, to become the version of yourself that you're going to become or that you have become. So no wasted time here. Yep, helped you to cycle things out, cycle things through. Things also go in cycles. There was many times that I thought that I was either done with something or that I had healed, and only for it to come back a second or third time. And then I was finally ready to let that go. Then it finally made sense. So sometimes when you do go back and forth with people, you guys, or if you keep making the same mistake over and over again, sometimes that is necessary. I mean, we don't want to use that as an excuse to keep doing stupid shit, but don't think back on, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted so much time, because that's not really going to help you. Because sometimes you don't learn things immediately. It happens in cycles. I like that. We have the material world. Yes, there's definitely something about 3D realities and 5D stuff. It's a beautiful dream. 7 of Cups is beautiful. The dreams that you have about a person, the higher self messages that you receive from your person, etc. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But when that's not matching up with what's really going on, how they're really treating you, how they're showing up for you in the 3D world, when that's not matching up, that can be a waste of your precious time while you're here on this planet, while you're here on this earth. So you have to also take your own needs into consideration. You have to. You have to make sure that you show up for yourself. And we have soulmate. There are plenty, okay? There are plenty of soulmates, right? Plenty of soulmates on this planet. Plenty of souls that you will connect with. This is not your only connection. This is not your only person. And people that get stuck in that cycle of, this is my person, this is the only one for me. If that makes you feel good and you're feeling awesome on a journey and you're just kicking ass and taking names, great. But if you're not, and you're just losing yourself and you're unhappy and everybody else seems to be either getting married, not that that's everything, but just, getting together with people, meeting people, experiencing happiness, but yet you're still waiting on that one person, that's telling you something, you guys. That's telling you something, that it might be time to come back down to earth and say, you know what? It's a beautiful dream, but fuck that shit. I want happiness. So I'm going to go ahead and take matters into my own hands, and I'm going to make something happen. I'm not going to wait for somebody else to come back on a shining white horse and make all my dreams come true. It's a beautiful story, like in a Disney movie, but that's not reality. It's just not. All right. So let's go ahead and end this reading with some final messages. This is the Shades of the Soul Guidance and Healing Oracle by Aqua Moonlight. Embrace. Hey, you guys, if you're still with me, remember I said, you got to embrace that shadow. It's not a bad thing. Now, again, it's not about going from one extreme to the next either. When we have some pain or something happens to us, automatically just going into love and light. That's that spiritual bypass that I'm talking about here. You want to embrace your shadow. We're taught that, oh, it's not good. It's bad. No, if you focus on the negative, you're going to attract more of that to you. Bullshit. That right there is just a lot of hogwash to me. And there's nothing wrong with being positive. That's a beautiful thing. But if you are pretending that nothing bothers you, or you're pretending that you have healed when you really haven't, you're only doing yourself a disservice. So if you've got to embrace that shadow, you got to just kind of wallow in that energy for a little bit longer so you can clear it up, then that's what you need to do, you guys. The Spirit wants you to know that that shadow is also important. Did I use this deck yet? Hold on for just a second. I don't know if I did. Yeah, this is the Controversa Tarot. Embrace that shadow. Ooh, we have the Two of Swords. So this right here says, attention, red flags. Yes. So to me, this is really confirming here that we've got to consider that we feel off for a reason. That shadow is designed in order to save our asses in situations where we need to survive, where we need to tell somebody no, or when somebody's pushing us and we're saying, pay attention to that. So your shadow is not something to be afraid of. It's not something to condemn, even though some people teach that. It's not something to be ashamed of, or condemned. And it doesn't mean that if you do shadow work that you're in a low vibrational place. That is a judgment. So it's a clear indication, though, that there could be also something that you still need to clear. So if you're feeling negative, don't be mad at yourself. I've experienced this myself where I'm just like, oh my God, if I felt more positive, like maybe I'm not doing the work. Maybe there's something wrong. Hey, Chibs. Sorry, you guys. Maybe I'm not a true, like, divine being. Maybe I just am a rotten to the core person. Maybe something's wrong with me. Actually, I'm not saying it's the opposite, but man, a lot of people that have spewed a lot of love and light, you know, they got a lot of work to do themselves. So, I mean, it's no judgment here, but man, stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. Embrace your own shadow. I'll embrace mine. Let's just all do what we need to do in order to heal so we can stop flinging shit into other people's lanes. So if you're feeling mad, if you're feeling a certain way, that's because there's something that you're still either not embracing or you're not accepting why you feel that way. Give yourself permission to be not okay with something, you know? Give yourself permission to be pissed when somebody does something that's really messed up. That's a true human response. And that's just what I feel like that message is. So I'm going to keep it there. Protect you. Yeah, look. Hey, there is a message here about your shadow is important because it does help you to protect yourself. So I'm going to kind of keep harping on the same thing. I do feel like in some spiritual communities that we are told to send love and light to a person, because if we don't, then that means we're low vibe and that somehow we're not going to have union with that person because we are upset. We have to forgive this person. We have to be in a state of unconditional love with this person, even though this person's treating us like crap. So all we're doing is deluding ourselves at that point. But it's a clear warning that maybe, how about this? Just maybe you're dealing with a toxic person. Maybe all of this crap that you're feeling isn't even really about you. Maybe it's the fact that you're dealing with a total asshole. You're dealing with a narcissist who doesn't give a shit about you. I'm sorry to be so harsh here, but sometimes people want to spiritually define pain. They want to spiritually define abuse. They want to make it okay by slapping a label on something. And sometimes people are just shadow. People are just dark. People are just straight up freaking evil. And you need to protect yourself from this person, not embrace them, not send them love and light, not tell them you're praying for them. Forget all of it. Save yourself. And I'm not trying to say like, you can't be a good person. But I feel like there's this misconception that if we don't keep our side of the street clean and that we don't have, all positive thoughts about this person, that somehow, something's going to happen to us. Sometimes you need to have that reminder that this person is somebody that you need to protect yourself from. So if you got to hold a healthy boundary and you got to remember and kind of remind yourself of all the crappy times that you've had so you don't let this person in again, then that's what you need to do here. Do not cross paths with me ever again. If I need to basically cut you out of my life, if I need to be abrupt and block your ass, or if I need to just do this or do that, sometimes that's what we need to do. Right? Yeah. That's very interesting the way it's popping up. Four Swords. Oh, yeah. Going within. Non-action. Silence. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you guys, I do feel that what Spirit is trying to tell us in the very end is that you just need to basically cut off all contact with this individual. You just need to take a break completely. You just need to retreat, go into silence. If this person tries to reach out to you again, it may just be that it's time to leave it in the past. It's time to protect your energy. I don't know what happened. We didn't really go into those details of what happened with this individual, but whatever has happened here is at least causing some kind of a warning here that if this person does try to make a comeback in your life, I'm being told through this reading to tell you to just not let him back in. So because of all the shadow, we are going to go into the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot here and get the reasons why. Why? Dealing with a real tyrant, like I said. A real piece of work. All right? And some of you guys might have a soft spot for this individual, which is fine. But at the end of the day, they're doing nothing but causing havoc in your life. So, real tyrant, real piece of work. And it's only going to go downhill. Doom and gloom. 5 of Cups. They will only disappoint you. They will only bring you sorrow and pain. It's not a situation where it's going to improve. That's just what I'm seeing here. They will disappoint you again. I'm getting here that this person has disappointed you already. If you let them back in, they will just disappoint you again. 5 of Swords. And it's not fair either, because you may at some point feel like you have felt defeated. This is 5 of Swords. You felt defeated. You felt like you just had to walk away defeated. And what has happened here has been unfair. So things will continue, I feel, to feel unfair if you allow this person back in. Yeah, they're a smooth talker. Somebody that might say all the right words to get back into your life, but at the end of the day, I'm just seeing here, it's all about them. So your best bet, don't be a fool. Fool me once, don't fool me twice. So even if that means that right now you have to kind of hit the reset button in your life and enter into a new journey that even might feel a little shadowy right now, you're better off on your own rather than letting this person come back and doing this all over again with them. I'm just getting here that your cycle with this individual is over and you're meant to take back your power and improve your life, strengthen yourself, heal, and then perhaps, maybe within 6 to 9 months, you're going to have met that new soulmate. That King of Diamonds and that King of Spades, I'm feeling for some of you guys, are new partners on the horizon, but those people, you're not really going to be interested in those people when you meet them as long as you're still connected to this piece of work. So that's what I got for you guys today. So I hope that that was helpful. All of this was just meant to empower you guys, to help you just kind of pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's just like that tough love. Nothing that was said in this reading was to make you feel like a dummy or to condemn you in any way. Oh my gosh, I've gone through so much of this stuff myself. And there's still certain things that come up within me that I do still struggle with. So it's not all smooth sailing for me just because I am no longer in the dating field. But anyways, you guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And I hope it was helpful to you guys. And like I said, head over to Natalie's channel if you guys want some deeper insight on different things for the spiritual journey. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.